Kick the tires and light the fires. Do it.
Hey, what's up, Browns fans? Thanks for stopping in the Danger Zone. I'm Josh. He's Rich. What's up, buddy?
Sapnin.
We took a week break, man. Took a week. You got to hear a best of. It was actually this time last year's episode in terms of our drafting and whatnot. So now we're back. We are 2 weeks out from the NFL draft, which is to be held in your own Cleveland, Ohio. Rich, this is the episode where we get to go full-fledged, full Browns mock, 7 rounds, 9 picks we have in this draft. It's the time of year where we get to show that we actually really don't know anything about football. So great episode for you guys. And like you said before we started recording, you know, if we hit on one of these guys, you know, it's a good day. So it's a good day there in the office.
I mean, one or two, if we hit or one or it's more, like I said, for people like us, it's more trying to ballpark the position, like the position of value in the draft, not so much the player. I mean, it's a crapshoot, as we've seen in Cleveland, where we draft a guy, we're like, fuck yeah. And then he turns out to be, you know, just fucking bad.
Yeah, we've had some doozies in history.
Yes.
So we're gonna give you guys our full mock this episode, and then we're gonna close out this episode with our 5 and 5. So yeah, Rich, it should be a fun one. So let's get it kicked off.
Let's rip it.
Pick 26, Rich, later than what we're used to picking in the first round. So it's unless there's, you know, happens to be a trade, we've come back up or had a couple picks due to certain instances. Pick 22 stands out a few different times in our draft history. Not this year, though. It's pick 26, round 1. Rich, I'll just lead it off right now. The Browns have yet to address edge. I think they go there round 1, pick 26. There's a lot of different guys actually in this draft that you could tab on the defensive line, specifically at edge. I went with, and I love it because he's got a last name that I'm likely going to butcher, because I didn't even look up the pronunciation of it because I was like, I'm going to save it for the episode because I like butchering last names. So Jason Owe from Penn State, 6'5", 275-pound edge guy. Jason spelled Jayson, which is a little bit unique. But you talk about athleticism, you got it with Jason. Recorded a 4.39 40-yard dash. This is an edge, folks. This is an edge defender. A 4.39 40-yard dash, 11-foot 2-inch broad jump, and obviously these are just numbers, but we're talking athleticism here, right? 6.8 second 3-cone shuttle time, which is elite level type times. He's a bit raw.
Yeah, freak.
Described as a bit raw, right? So, but if you're looking, you know, for a guy you can mold and pair with Myles Garrett, who has that raw ability, you know, he's not going to jump off the stat sheets, you know, in terms of at the collegiate level. Actually, he didn't have any sacks last year after having 7 in his first 2 seasons. But this is a guy that can contribute via just raw athleticism, and, you know, maybe a guy who you can pair with Myles Garrett, you know, in terms of like a mentorship. But that's my justification for Jason at pick 26 going edge. Rich, where do you got the Browns doing at 26?
All right, so this is what I would like to happen. Let's just make sure we're clear. Number 1, I think we sign Clowney before the draft to answer your edge. Now, even if they do sign Clowney, that doesn't necessarily mean they're not going edge,
right?
At 26. But anyways, I went with the least popular position on the Cleveland Browns defense, which is linebacker. And the only reason I'm going at this spot is because it's just another fucking freak. I doubt he'll be there at 26, but I've been able to do a couple of mock drafts and snag him. So, I mean, there's always hope. Linebacker, Notre Dame, Jeremiah Owusu. Good God. Koromoa.
Gotta love the last names.
Look, the dude's a fucking, just a tackling rocket missile thing.
Tackling you.
Like, he's sideline to sideline type, a sure tackler. He will hit you and rattle your fillings. The way he hits is just, he's not trying to hit you, he's trying to hit through you. He's just a fantastic athlete on top of it. He's a 3-down linebacker, which means he can get into coverage and play some of those spots that we need, like, so we're not running off the defense on 3rd down. He'll run you down from the backside. He's arguably the best linebacker in the draft. A lot of teams, like I said, he could drop to us, and that would be a fucking dream scenario.
Yeah. Defense, Rich, round 1. We agree on that for sure. They can go any direction here at pick 26. And we've even talked, when I stopped over your house the other day about, don't be surprised they trade somewhere. Pick, in the first round, maybe move up, maybe I don't move back. Who knows? I think the flexibility there in terms of what they can do is wide open. So it's going to be interesting to see how Andrew Berry and company handle this first round pick 26. So, okay. Rich.
Yeah, they could. I mean, look, let's throw it out there as well. Like, don't be surprised if they come away with a receiver here.
Yeah, they could go that. They could
go or a corner even. I mean, it's either receiver, corner, edge, or if this Jeremiah, I'm telling you right now, if this Jeremiah dude falls to 26, the Browns are taking him whether they had him slated there or not. He's that good.
Anything could happen, Rich. We've seen some draft free falls, some head scratching picks that cause guys the decks to shuffle. That's what's fun about the draft, though, is it's like it's like the Wild West for a couple nights. Anything can happen.
It gets a little goofy, man.
Yeah. All right, moving on to round 2, Rich. We've got pick 59 in the 2nd round. I'm sticking defense here. Browns picking up Andrew Sisko from Syracuse. He's a safety, 6'1", 216. He's, and NFL.com described him as this, and I liked it: boom or bust chance taker with frenzied downhill run support at safety. Now, we know what Woods is bringing to the table here with this 4-2-5 or whatever alignment is going to have. It's going to be DB heavy. Excuse me. And ideally from that safety position, I mean, you're going to want some cornerbacks too, but 3 safeties, sometimes 3 corners, depending on what formation, what base they're playing there. But I like a safety here in the 2nd round to bring some more competition to that spot. If you've got 3 starting, you're going to have a few more in rotation. This team's going to carry a lot of defensive backs going into the season.
Absolutely.
And this guy here, Andre Sisko, he's got the good size that I like at 6'1", 216. You see a lot of 5'11" corners, 6-foot corners. He's got that extra inch. He's a little bit thicker framed, and he's aggressive. He attacks the ball. He finished with 13 interceptions. The guy is like a receiver out there playing the cornerback position, and he's got the skill to play cornerback. So, good athlete, I think he would fit well with this defense. So I got safety at pick 59, Rich. Where are you going?
I went edge at 59. I went with Peyton Turner out of Houston. Good athlete, nothing crazy. He's not like a pass rush wizard, but when you have Myles Garrett on the opposite side of you, it's going to make life a lot easier. Constant producer in college. Moves really well, good feet, good hands. He'll be able to grow into a good pass rusher, but I think he'll be decent against the run. And I think this would be a good spot for us right here. If if things go the way I hope they go, edge is a good spot to pick here in the 2nd round.
Yeah. I guess we kind of flip-flop there, going DB and D-line and 1st and 2nd round. One more thing to add with Sisko, he may, be available later. I don't know if he'll be available for a 3rd round pick because he did have an injury. He missed most of last year with a knee injury, ACL tear, and then he missed a couple games season before that. So it may, maybe one of them things that kind of push him down a little bit in the on the draft board. So we'll see. Okay, cruising right along, man, into the 3rd round where we have 2 picks, Rich. 2 picks in the 3rd round.
Close together, too. Pick 89 and 91.
Close, very close together. So, at pick 89, look, man, I struggled with this a little bit. And you know, I had to like reach like deep inside myself and find some kind of comfort with what I was about to do here. And there was some justification I had to do in terms of thinking about where this team's actually going to go. And I'm a little worried right now that they may be waiting this Nick Chubb thing out. And I think um, it may lead to him not being on the team after his contract's up. I got the Browns
That's
picking.
bold.
I got the Browns picking running back here in the third round. I'm picking the first pick of the third round just because I like this individual, Khalil Herbert from Virginia Tech, 5'9", 204. He, you know, it was largely unknown before last season. He played for Kansas prior to coming to Virginia Tech for that season, but I watched this guy, Rich, and the one thing it was almost destiny because I struggled with picking a running back here.
Right.
Then I watched this. He was one of 3 guys I tabbed, and I watched him, and he is so Nick Chubb-esque with his running and just his demeanor on the field. And I was like, is it to be? Is this the guy? Is this it? So I went with running back here. I like Herbert from Virginia Tech, and he's tabbed as a zone blocking running back. So he's good with that one cut read, as well as setting up his blocks on that outside zone scheme. You know, he's got good balance. They tabbed him a smooth operator. I was like, that's Nick Chubb all the way. Look, man,
Absolutely.
I hope they keep Nick Chubb. Like, if you've listened to any of our episodes, you know that I am an advocate of keeping Nick Chubb and extending him right now, but I'm worried that they're not going to. And that's not that like the world's going to fall apart. I think they could pick up a guy in the third, maybe, you know, someone who could play the game in the system well enough to be good. I just have that affinity for Nick Chubb. But like I said, worried about it. Taking running back here at pick 89. Rich, where are you going with 89?
Well, first I want to say damn you for putting the fucking evil juju curse on Nick Chubb. You fucking you're the devil. At third I went corner finally because it's just, I mean, you can't have enough sizes. I went with Robert Rochelle out of Central Arkansas. Good size. You know, I want to put it like, I don't want to say ball skills. It just sounds weird, but I mean, he's got some good ball skills, man.
You
Instincts.
got some good ball skills.
Yeah. Holla. You know, he's a get up in your face corner. He's a man corner. Good speed. I think what we need is someone good size and strong opposite of Denzel Ward. You know, the recent signing of Hill means he's the slot guy, so that opposite corner spot is open. And that, you know, Greedy could be there. This, you know, another corner or two that we draft is going to have an opportunity. And don't be surprised if you see a trade come out for another corner. But I like this guy, Robert Rochelle. He's not going to blow your socks off, but he would be a good side opposite, good body, good tackler opposite of Denzel Ward. And I think it'd be a good pick. Corner is basically where I'm at with it.
Yeah, corner there. Okay. Yeah, I like it. Corner's definitely going to be a need. You know, I tabbed us picking up a safety, and you know, we still got quite a few picks left, so we'll see what's in the bag coming down the line here. But this team's going to be defensive back heavy. You know, defensive back, defensive line, and tight ends are probably going to consume the majority of our fucking positional. Our 50. What is it now? Is it
57,
7 something?
I think with Rona it went up.
Yeah, so yeah, I like it. I like cornerback there, Rich. Hey, we get 2 in the third round. So on to pick 91 in the third round. Rich, this was another one where I was like, okay, if the Browns, they haven't given me confidence at these positions, I don't know which way they're going to go. I'm going wide receiver here at pick 91.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I'm going Anthony Schwartz out of Auburn, 6 foot, 186 pounds, small guy. But you know what? You want speed. You want speed at receiver. How about 4.26 speed, Rich? Take some 4.26 speed at receiver. Schwartz, he was known for his speed before he even came to the collegiate level at Auburn. He was, I mean, he's a track guy. He's a track guy, played football, and, you know, he actually had, let's see, He also ran the youth world record, 10.15 100-meter dash in the 2007 Florida Relays, or 2017, excuse me.
Jesus.
He's got a couple state records. I mean, the guy's fast. The guy's fast, and he's not a horrible receiver, but he's that type of guy that's going to be more of a gadget guy. End arounds, get him on the field to keep the defense honest. And if the Browns draft a guy or bring on a guy that has speed in the receiver position, that's the type of guy they're going to bring on. It's not going to be someone who's going to develop into a number one who has elite speed. These elite speed receivers usually aren't the high producing guys, the guys that are focused in as a number one. It just usually doesn't work that way in today's NFL.
Right.
I think the Browns are going to stick with that mold. And if they get a speed guy, it's going to be something in the form of an Anthony Schwartz from Auburn. So I got wide receiver at 91, Rich. What say ye?
So I agree with you on the receiver thing. If they get any receiver, it's going to be someone who has the ability to take the top off the defense. That's been the biggest gripe with our passing game, is we don't have that guy. Now, that may be because OBJ was hurt, yada, 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 whatever. But that's always been the gripe. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I went a little bit of a homer pick here, and I went defensive tackle at 91 with Tommy Tagai from the Ohio State University. Our interior line is I mean, you got Sheldon Richardson, and then, you lost Larry. So you got some openings there. You got Jordan Elliott coming, he was a rookie last year playing, but that other position isn't exactly nailed down.
Nope.
And I think they're going to have to address it. Good hands player, fires off the ball quick. First step is lightning quick. He can cause some trouble. He can get a little bit bigger. This is a chance guy. He only had 1 year of production at Ohio State, so he doesn't have a ton of film to watch. And a lot of Ohio State games weren't exactly like, games that you pay attention to the D line, for Christ's sake. But I think the position of D tackle happens right around this spot in the draft. We need some bodies to fill out the rest of that room.
Yeah. Yep. No doubt, Rich. No doubt. Again, we said it earlier, and I think it kind of played this whole draft, not just the first round, this whole draft. The Browns have a lot of flexibility. There's a lot of different directions they can go at any given time. This is one of those drafts where I think they can make, they can formulate their big board and just stay true to it. Best player available, pretty much. Because I think maybe they have a window of 5 players, and if they got a need at a positional, they tab, and it's within those 5 players, they'll they'll take the third best instead of the best player on their board. So I don't know, but I think, like I said, the flexibility is there. So definitely could see them going with more defensive line help at pick 91. That would take us out of the third round, Rich, and on to the fourth round, where we actually, 19 picks later, so another short turn, we get pick 110 in the fourth round. Rich, I've waited to the fourth round. Didn't have anyone in the free agent market that I wanted them to pick up. I'm going linebacker here in the fourth round, Rich. And look, it's you Ohio State homers are gonna love this episode. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna take Pete Werner, the underrated linebacker out of Ohio State, 6'3", 242 pounds. Look, he's a guy, I think you look at him and you can tell he's athletic if you watch him. He's not like, you read the stuff about him though, and no one says like he's super athletic guy. That's not like part of the tabbing of him, but you can see it on film for sure. He's got pretty good closing speed. That you talk about that lateral ability, the sideline to sideline. I think he's got good hip movement. He's got a good foundation. He's light on his feet. He kind of reminded me of a faster Joe Schobert in some of his moves.
Okay.
And he's a good coverage linebacker. And I think with the limited play, the limited bodies that we're going to have there, I think having the ability to cover is going to be a key asset to a linebacker addition. So I like Pete Werner here, linebacker, Ohio State, at pick 110. Rich, what direction you have him going here.
So I've got this sneaky suspicion that at some point earlier in the draft than we would expect, the Browns are going to go a guard. They're going to draft a guard straight up. And the one to get here would be Deontay Brown from Alabama. I'm gigantic fucking human. He's not gonna be the guard that you expect to be pulling. Okay, that's for damn sure. But he will move some. He will move some fucking bodies. He's an earth grading, gigantic, massive human. He's not one of those freak athletes that's just stuffed inside of a giant body. He doesn't move all that great. But if you're trying to run the football and you need a wide body to do it, this would be the guy.
Wide body.
Dude, he is a massive look at this guy up when you get a chance. He is a massive fucking human being. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I'm telling you, another thing is the Browns are going to go O-line. I mean, Joel Bitonio ain't getting any younger. You got to start looking for potential replacements down the line for him. And I think this is the draft they start doing it.
I like that pick there, Rich, actually. I'll give a spoiler. I do go OT, but it's no time soon. So, and it's kind of disappointing. So we'll get
Dude, look, let's be realistic. Like at this point in the draft, we're taking one dart and throwing it at like 620 dartboards.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, let's not get it twisted. It's not like I did a giant film study here on my next pick. You know what I'm saying? I kind of read up around some guys, saw some guys that were getting picked in the area and kind of went along with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I have to do, I have my methods I do every year. I pick 3 guys. I go position. Every round, I'm picking a position the Browns are going to draft that round, and I do 3 people. I'll pick 3 people. Usually the top 3. Sometimes I'll go mix it up a little bit, and I'll study those 3, and I'll pick one of those 3 that I like. So that's pretty much how that's going. Okay, so we've got what's our next pick here? Another 4th rounder, right?
I believe so.
132, round 4, pick 132. Yeah, that's right. Just want to make sure I was right. Rich, I go defensive back again here. Now, not safety. I'm going corner. You went corner earlier on. I'm going corner here, and I'm going Kerry Vincent Jr., the LSU cornerback, 5'10", 195 pounds. He's average size, but great speed and athleticism. So, I talked with Werner about his ability to flip his hips. And any time, any position that you're in a skill position or guarding a skill position, that hip movement, that being able to flip the hips, you hear it all the time, is an important trait to be able to master. And he's another one that has good movement with that, good feet, good burst. I think he can hang with NFL, top tier NFL talent at wide receiver. So, he's labeled a hardworking, smart guy, and the Browns always say they want to draft tough, smart players, right?
That's right up our alley, man.
Right up our alley. And he's played some free safety, so he's got that crossover ability too to play other defensive back positions. And I think, again, with the 3,700 defensive backs we're going to carry on this roster, that might be a good trait that the Browns like. So he has some impressive ball skills too, and he's good at contesting, creating contested catches essentially with his coverage ability. So Kerry Vincent Jr., cornerback, LSU. That's my pick, my breakdown. Rich, round 4, pick 132. You're on the clock.
Yeah, so how about another corner?
Hey, we both got corner in this round.
Dude, I'm telling you, they're going to take – I think I have another one as well. I mean, it's going to be, you've seen last year we couldn't have enough.
Yeah, it's true.
With injuries and shit. So I went Keith Taylor, cornerback out of Washington, 2-year starter. Came off pretty well his senior year. Hyper aggressive, kind of an angry. He's kind of like an asshole cornerback, to be honest with you. Has no problem sticking his face up there, get after the run. He's super aggressive with the receivers. He's a physical guy. Beats people up, plays through the whistle, which I like even more. he doesn't take any bullshit. He's a little bit sloppy in technique, but I mean, come on, he's a college kid coming in the NFL. We'll clean that right up. He's not much. Now, this is the one I went away from. All the other stats, everything else I liked about him, but he could use some work in the man cover or man cover department. He's it's a little bit suspect, but everything else. I mean, if you could teach this kid, he's a hell of a number 2 corner. Sitting out there possibly in the 4th round. He'd be a nice fucking pick right here, man.
I like it. I think we are trending in the direction of having a very, very heavy defensive draft. And
yes,
I think
absolutely.
That's the consensus overall about where this team's headed this draft. So our picks are definitely falling in line with that. That's the last one in the 4th round, Rich. We're on to later rounds here. Actually, you could have considered that last pick later, round pick 2, but round 5, pick 169. Rich, let's keep it defensive. I'm going edge here in this spot again. So I went edge with 26. I'm going edge with 169. I'm going to go, and here's for you, Ohio State homers again. Jonathan Cooper, edge out of Ohio State, 6'3", 253. He's a local boy, raised in Columbus, Ohio. He was a 4-star recruited pretty heavily. Obviously, being raised in Columbus, Ohio, you're going to go to Ohio State if you're a good football player. They're going to take you there. So he's relentless. So another trend we've been having with these picks is these guys with high motors, relentless passion for the game of football, so he never stops trying to get to the quarterback, no matter how the plays broke down, at least in the limited amount of highlights that I watched anyway. He's one of those they call him a no nonsense rusher. And by that, it's like straight line attacks. I'm just going to run you over. He's one thing about him, Rich, he's got a Myles Garrett-esque ability to get off the ball. So, Myles gets called offsides a lot, and it's questionable half the times if he's actually offsides or if he's just so fucking fast. The refs they thought he had to be offsides. Jonathan Cooper kind of has a little bit of that in him. He gets off the ball in a hurry. So I think he'd be a good addition to get in the rotation later in the draft here. You could carry him at the bottom of the roster and work him into the lineup. So I like edge here, Rich, at pick 169. I have a feeling you're going defense again.
Yeah, I'm going defense, and crazy enough, it's my next corner pick, and I just couldn't find anybody. Listen, we're not expecting this guy to start. He'd be a good special teams guy, but I still see him going DB. Sean Wade maybe in this area for Ohio State, but I went with Cameron Bynum. Reason being is when you get into this kid's bio, the first couple things you see: 4-year starter, 2-time captain. He's from Cal. He's tough, instinctive, good ball skills. So he's a smart player. He's a 2-time captain. He sounds like he's right up the fucking alley of the Cleveland Browns. He does all the normal shit really well.
Yeah.
He's not like outstanding in any one area. He's a good tackler, which is an effort thing. I mean, tackling's just about effort. He has a little bit of a problem against the bigger receivers. He's not real. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Joe Hayden. Like he's good in he's fast in football speed, but like when you time him, it doesn't seem that fast. You know what I'm saying? Like It's a weird, people bitched about Joe Hayden because he was slow, whatever you want to call that. And then he comes out and plays corner at a high level for a bunch of years for us. So a corner, again, I mean, I could see us taking 2 or 3 DBs, whether they be like slot corner guys, outside corners, or another safety. But yeah, I definitely want corner again, dude. I can't get away from it. We need all of them.
Rich is like, give me 7 corners. Oh, we have 9 picks. Give me 9 corners.
Fuck, we're not picking. Let's be real clear here before we go through all this. We are not going to end this draft with 9 fucking picks. I'll tell you that right now.
We talked about that. I agree. And we pretty much kept it to let's just draft the nine positions that we have instead of trying to get cute with trades and whatnot. But I agree, Rich. We talked about it. There's going to be some movement. There's going to be some movement.
Yeah, we're going to leave. I think the over under is 6. And I don't go far from that. I say max of 7 players and minimum of 5. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep,
we're getting 6 guys. There's no fucking way.
Yes, sir. I concur, Doctor. Speaking of 6, we're into round 6, Rich. Pick to 11. Look, Case Keenum is a good backup. He doesn't have to play. That's the best backup you could have. Don't know how long Case Keenum's going to be a backup for here in Cleveland, but he's serving his purpose now. So the Browns are probably in the position, they may be in a position every year to find a good backup that they can develop into the system, into Kevin Stefanski's system. Someone maybe close to Baker's skill sets. Someone that they can bring up in the system who can be a dependable, reliable backup. And what's a good backup? Someone who doesn't play. Best backup around. But the Browns are probably going to go quarterback sometime, even if it's undrafted free agent. Maybe I'm going right here. Obviously, I'm talking about quarterback. I got him drafting quarterback round 6, pick to 11. I went with Sam Ehlinger, the quarterback from Texas. 6'2", 225. He's a dual threat type quarterback. Now, he's not going to be a Lamar Jackson runner, but he is mobile enough and has kind of sneaky speed a little bit to get out there and be that dual threat type of guy. And he will test the defense downfield. Now, he has been knocked for not having a strong enough arm, but so Baker was knocked for that too. And he has the longest recorded fucking throw for what?
Right.
Something 70 fucking yards or something, right?
Yeah.
So this guy can make the throws. I watched enough to know he can make the throws for sure. Poise, he handles the rush well. He's another raw prospect though, in terms of NFL ability, in terms of projection, right? So that's why he's a 6th round projected guy. He's got a little bit of ways to go as a passer. They call him a project. I think that's perfect to bring up in the system. And like I said, develop him as a backup. So I'm going
I like it.
at 211, Rich.
I like it. Stash him on the practice squad if you can. Fucking just see what you can get out of him. So I went another position that I think we're going to have to draft just because we don't want to spend money at it is linebacker. And I went back to linebacker. I went Errol Thompson from Mississippi State. This dude is just a straight up run stuffing. This is what I wanted to because we don't have any of these. Just a run stuffing. Will smash his face into the hole and get either knocked out or make the tackle. He plays one speed, which is full speed. It's just, he's got all the size and the build to be a fucking run stuffer. He's just a little bit sloppy. He can't really, you're not going to want him in on coverage. So he would be a 2-down linebacker tops. If you send him on a blitz, you better fucking get out of the way, dude. He's aggressive, to put it nicely. He's smart, dude. He made all the defensive calls for the team this past season. Another guy, that most likely whoever we drafted this spot is going to be a special teamer, unless we find a diamond in the rough. But I'd also just like to have at least one linebacker that wants to punch people in the face and stop the run.
Yeah.
I understand, everything is the pass in the NFL right now. But there's other teams that have Nick Chubb-esque players, and someone's going to have to tackle that fucking guy. Or we'll stop everybody from passing and they'll put up 250 yards a game rushing on us.
Yeah.
But yeah, this dude's everyone's like, our defense is rated our passing defense is rated number 5. It's like, well, why would they throw when they could just hand it to the guy back there? And he fucking runs a mud hole in your ass. But yeah, physical dude, nice tackler, just smashes into the football line of scrimmage, gets after it. Special teams, dude. Fucking Errol Thompson, baby. Mississippi State.
I like it. So how many offensive players have you had so far?
Fuck.
Just one?
Yeah. I took a fucking guard. I'm not taking, but I do. I actually have an offensive player coming next.
Oh, me too. And you know what? This is where the disappointment comes in, because I said I was going to pick a guard. And I'm just not picking a person. I just wrote any guard because at pick 257 in round 7, I don't think it matters what fucking guard you take. Your chances of them becoming something are probably all the same. So throw their names in a hat and draw a fucking name for all I care. Any guard, I pick 257 for me, Rich. Who do you got? You got an offensive player here, you said.
Yeah, I have an offensive player. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm taking Ian Book, quarterback, Notre Dame.
Yeah, quarterback.
I
looked at him, by the way. I did
listen. I'm going to read some of his shit here, and you tell me who he reminds you of. Agile, easily moves about the field, and is a legitimate threat picking up yardage with his legs. Terrific short and intermediate passer who delivers tight spirals and a catchable ball. Sells ball fakes, takes the safe underneath outlet, and possesses a pretty damn quick release. Who does that sound like?
Yeah.
Sounds like Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
Here's the negatives on this guy. Short and lacks pocket stature. Cannot drive deep throws. Shows hesitation in his game and is late pulling the trigger. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Okay. It's Baker Mayfield all over again, but this guy isn't nearly as good. He's decent. I watched him a bit at Notre Dame. We got to start you should draft a quarterback at least every other year, no matter what. And I went after the fucking quarterback right here, Ian Book, baby.
I like it. I think we had the same mindset there. You know, I mean, I just went the round prior. I do think the Browns are going to draft a quarterback late in the draft.
Yes, there's almost a guarantee.
So I like that, Rich. That closes out our Browns mocktacular going on here, man. Like I said, don't know if you got, the greatest insightful. Rich, your bottle's disappearing. I like it.
It's a green bottle. That's weird.
Don't know if you got the most insightful breakdowns there, but hey, we gave you effort for sure. I don't cover the draft for a living. This is the only time. I'm not a big college guy to begin with, so this is the only time of the year I even start bringing up college tape or names or anything. But I do it when it's draft time. Like, we took that week off.
Yeah,
I spent a couple weeks looking at stuff, and because I have to spread it out a little bit, but it's fun. It's always fun when I get to do it, for sure. It gets you like a jump start on the season. This is like the first episode. When we do this episode, it's the first episode I know football is getting closer to starting, like actual stuff. COVID last year kind of ruined a lot of things, and hell, it may this year too in terms of off-season activities. But we'll see what happens. Anyway,
we got to get into that real quick too. Not right this second. The off-season thing with everything with JC Treader right now.
Oh yeah. Well, let's squeeze it in now. Because I just seen this because it's 4 minutes old. I guess Cleveland.com is reporting the Browns are working to bring Jadeveon Clowney in for a second visit Monday.
What did I tell you? What did I say on your pick? I said I'm telling you, there's something. There's some things moving around, and something's going to get funky in the next before the draft. Was that Charles Robinson was on the radio this week, said the Browns will get better before the draft, kind of hinting at Clowney. Mm-hmm. The Saints are still fighting to get under the cap, so don't be surprised if you hear a Marshawn Lattimore conversation tossed around.
I'm surprised that quieted down like it did, because it prevalent for a second, then it's like, hey, it just went away.
Well, look, you got to remember, I think it goes away because of free agency gets kind of it sucks up all the air in the room. Mm-hmm. But like coming into this next week, leading into the draft, the vets that are still out there are coming to terms with like, okay, maybe I'm not worth as much as I thought. So expect a lot of fucking movement this week. Yeah. Like I think you're going to see a lot of visits and a lot of signings this week specifically. I said before with the Clowney stuff, we're waiting to find out more info on his injury and how he's healing. But I think I won't say it's a done deal. All right, I'm calling my shot right now, Babe Ruth, right here, out that way. Clowney will sign here before the end of the week. Nice. Before the Friday news dump, Clowney will be a Cleveland Brown. I can't tell you for sure, but I'm pretty fucking certain. How's that?
I like it. I like calling your shot, man. Having conviction. I like it.
It's just been too quiet on that end with Clowney for something not to be, he hasn't gone anywhere else, I don't think. So.
Yeah. We talk about, and Jadeveon Clowney's a free agent front, but we just got off the draft talk. And, one thing that we've done, we've only been doing a podcast our third season, but one thing we've done as Browns fans every year since before 2018 was pretty much look at quarterbacks, talk about quarterbacks, quarterback this, quarterback that.
God damn it.
And it was, high in the draft, 1, 2, sometimes around
every
3,
fucking year,
right?
man.
High. Now we're down here at round 6 and 7 talking about drafting quarterbacks, and here's why. And we've all seen this, but this shit makes my fucking like heart warm as fuck. Okay, so and I know you've seen this. 14 QBs were drafted in the top 5 between 2009 and 2018. Baker Mayfield is the only one who remains on the team that selected him. Why? Because Baker Mayfield's a franchise fucking quarterback. That's why.
Yeah, put some respect on that man's name, man. I'm about tired of people shitting on Baker Mayfield.
No.
Targeted the end zone. He's like 34 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's 6th all time in passing. He's got more touchdowns and yards than Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Fucking Baltimore can't even get receivers to show up at their goddamn, they can't even sign no fucking buddy because they're like, man, I ain't going there for a 1-year deal and have Lamar throw me 8 passes that are off target. Fuck you, Baker's the goddamn man, and it's nice. Like, even with this whole draft, like this for this year right here, I would say I maybe took 10% of a step back in following the draft because I don't feel like I need to anymore in relation to the Browns. Like, I trust the front office to make the right decision. Yeah. I still look for guys, and I'll follow them to their other, to whoever ends up drafting them, and just kind of pay attention to them because there's certain guys you like, which we'll probably get into next week. But it's just nice to go into a draft and you don't have a list of 22 positions that you need good players at.
It's true.
I mean, we're down to like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Really, realistically, there's an argument to be made that we're the most talented roster in the NFL right now. Think about that.
We're high up on all those lists for sure.
Listen, think about that for a second.
Would you look at it?
4 years ago, we were a baby diaper full of Indian shit, dumpster remnants, and hot garbage on a football field.
Yeah, that's what we were. 5
years ago, even. And then now you could make a legitimate argument that they were one of the most, if not the most, talented roster in the NFL. Get the fuck out of here.
You shut your mouth.
Get out of here. I mean, let's go, man. I can't fucking wait for football. We lose a preseason game this year, and we gained a homer.
Crazy.
We gained a homer.
It is. It's looking up, Rich. It's looking up. You know what? And before we get into, we'll close it with 5 and 5. You wanted to talk about some of the off-season stuff.
Yeah.
With JC Tretter and his comment. I don't know. Listen, I like JC Tretter. Okay. It's tough. It's tough from a fan's perspective because JC's doing what his job is to do.
Right. That's my entire argument in this.
He's doing what anyone would do in his position. It's his job to do that, and it happens in the labor force, the regular labor force, all the time with unions. But there's reasons I don't work for unions.
Right.
So, and as a fan looking on, I'm like, just fucking play football, bro. Like, why is it always got to be something? But like I said, I get it. Anyway, Rich, what is that the direction you were trying to go?
Yeah, like people are shitting all over JC Tretter. Like, JC, we got a team with a bunch of people that don't play that much together, and we had no offseason last year, and think about the Browns team. And right now, the decisions he's making, his loyalties can't be to the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
His loyalties belong with the rest of the NFL players.
It's true.
And it's got to be tough, right? He's putting the many in front of his singular interests, and I mean, that's a good dude. That's like, that's someone who has integrity. He's not making any decisions that stand to benefit him, and that's the way it should be done. And Tretter's a fucking good guy. Look, it took us a handful of games to get moving last season. I get it. I doubt we'll have that fucking problem this year. So
Yeah.
whatever. If they want to do goddamn Zoom fucking football until look, what doesn't matter. I don't fucking care. Just give me football on the field.
Right, right.
Whatever.
And here's the thing, like, these guys are all, if not already, all going to be vaccinated very, very, very soon. And even if they do Zoom meetings and stuff, I'm okay with it. Let the players though have the ability to get together and practice and do their thing. Let them have that ability. Do whatever, put whatever restrictions on it. You have to be vaccinated. I don't care, whatever. But let them do that. Even if you don't want to run it through the business side, the NFL side, that's fine with me. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Like you said, just give me football. And, we are hitting milestone after milestone. We got draft talk going on. Free agency kicked off a little while ago. There's going to be a lot more to come with this stuff, with free agency wrapping up and then the draft happening. And then, you'll start to at least, well, we might go through another lull if they don't have any OTAs, but
yeah, it'll be, dude. We'll just, I think if they're doing all fucking Zoom bullshit, we're just going to get a camera mounted in the corner of your backyard and we're just going to sit back there and we're just going to do a marathon show. We'll stream it live. We'll just get hammered drunk and talk Browns football for fucking 5.5 hours.
I mean,
while we're smoking some meats or something.
Don't scare me with a good time, Rich.
Yeah, damn it. What terribleness are we talking about?
All right, let's get into this 5 at 5, Rich, because I think it's going to be a good one, and I labored over this for a little while because it was a tough one. So this week's 5 and 5, we're going to do top 5 free agent busts of your Cleveland Browns. Yes, we are restricting it to only 5, and that's the laboring part I talked about, Rich. I actually have a list here of honorable mentions because there was some tough decisions for me to make moving into this one, and some of these are based in production, obviously, and some of them have ties to how they made me feel at that time, and maybe I wasn't the happiest camper, so they made this list as a free agent bust. So as we always do, let's start in descending order. At number 5, Rich, who's your number 5?
My number 5 is LaCharles Bentley, unfortunately. Do you remember who LaCharles Bentley is?
He was one of my honorable mentions. I'll give a preview.
I mean, no bad, it was back when we had the voodoo flying around the goddamn facility. Guys were catching staph through sneezes and shit, and legs were falling off. Joe Jaravicius almost fucking died. LaCharles Bentley almost fucking died. But yeah, LaCharles Bentley is my number 5 because that dude was a fucking Pro Bowl center and guard coming to Cleveland. Like, we were starting to build something, and then they decided to fucking take body parts away from him damn near.
Yeah. The only reason he wasn't in the top 5 is because I felt guilty. Like, I felt bad because I'm like, he couldn't, it wasn't his fault. Like, he just got, it was like the worst fucking luck ever.
Yeah, it was terrible luck, man. Terrible luck. And we did him bad too.
Yeah. That's tough. But it was, I mean, if you look at it from the scope of what was anticipated him bringing and what, no matter how it happened, what was put out, yeah, that's definitely a bust in the free agent realm. So, Rich, I had Jake Delhomme, quarterback. Listen, Cleveland was desperate for years.
We hardly knew you.
They signed this 35-year-old quarterback, fresh off a horrendous season, okay, mind you, to a 2-year, $7 million deal, which was just atrocious for what they were paying for. And the guy was good back in the day. Let him do a Super Bowl, right? The Panthers, that is, back, in his prime. But in 2009 and 10, and he wasn't that guy. And the Browns were just another desperate team. Well, the desperate team looking for a quarterback. That was a signing by Tom Hecker, by the way. So Jake Delhomme comes in at number 5 for me. Rich, who you got at number 4?
Andre Rison.
Ooh.
Art Modell had to take out a fucking loan to be able to sign him. And then he was garbage. And I think while he's with Cleveland, Left Eye burned his house down. I'm not certain from TLC.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that was like pre-move Browns. It was just a bad situation. It was like Modell's last-ditch effort to try to not move the team and fuck us over.
Yeah.
And anytime I think about that Andre Rison season, I feel like the Browns were leaving again. So That's it. Number 4.
Yeah, I'll give a teaser. He is on my list. I got Jeff Garcia. I'm going QB again, Richie. I am a hurt individual in the QB
Yeah,
realm.
what QB
Okay?
hurt you emotionally?
So, he didn't have another guy didn't have a good year prior to him coming to Cleveland, and he got arrested for DUI prior to coming to Cleveland. But the Browns were like, you know what? Don't care. Here's 4 years, $25 million, right? He lasted that season. That was a Butch Davis signing. Okay.
Bitch Davis, you fucking butthole.
So you're talking the last time Cleveland's seen a coach general manager combo, and good riddance to that. You don't need to do both. And I think, hopefully learned a lesson there. Anyway, Jeff Garcia comes in at number 4 for me, man. I'm done with quarterbacks on the list, by the way. So sneak peek there. Rich, number 3, who do you got?
Dante Stallworth. We signed him and then he killed a guy.
Yeah, he did. Vehicular manslaughter.
He was
right?
suspended the whole rest of the season. Yeah, I mean, I remember the guy was running across like 6 lanes of a highway or some shit in Florida. But then Dante Stallworth came up where he's a little bit intoxicated, I believe.
Yep.
But yeah, we signed the dude and then he kills a person. So that's a pretty bad signing as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that falls into the bad bucket. It does. Very Browns.
Yeah, like PU, man.
Frame.
Fucking.
Let's stay receiver, Rich, because
no shit.
There's plenty. I'm going Kenny Britt at number 3. You gave the guy 4 years, $32.5 million, and then cut him. The next year after he logged 18 catches for 233 yards in 9 games. The guy was injured, had dealt with knee and groin injuries. He had no effort. John Dorsey's first day in office was like, "See you later, Kenny Britt. You're out."
Yeah, pack your shit, bro.
Yeah, that was a Sashi Brown signing there. So Kenny Britt comes in at number 3 for me. Rich, who you got at number 2?
Jamie Collins.
He almost
Jamie Collins was a bad fucking signing, man.
Another honorable mention of mine.
That was such a bad signing, and that was part of the scam that Belichick was running, is he would ship players off, like he'd not sign them or whatever. They'd go somewhere else. He would get the fucking comp pick for them. They'd go to their new team. They would suck gigantic dick, and then they'd go back to the Patriots on another deal.
Yeah,
like Bill was running a fucking compensatory pick fucking scheme.
Jamie
Collins was
I wouldn't
shit.
be surprised. Rich, that's an I have a theory right there.
Yeah, it is a theory because go look, guys. The Patriots have fucking shipped off, and then they come back and they play fantastic after that. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just seems it just seems fucking dirty.
It's fishy. Rich, I have a feeling my number 2 is your number 1. I'm going Dwayne Bowe here, wide receiver. And the Browns, look, he was one of the most painful wide receivers we signed. One of the most. 2-year deal, $13 million, $9 million guaranteed. You know what they got for that, Rich? $9 million guaranteed. 5 catches for 53 yards in 7 games. With him being a healthy scratch the other 9 games. So you know how much he made? $2 million per catch, right? Ray Farmer signing. Ray fucking Farmer signing. Dwayne Bowe.
Fucking text down from the fucking booth. Ray fucking Farmer, you dick fart.
Dwayne Bowe, you are number 2. Rich, we are down to the number 1 worst free agent signing for the Cleveland Browns in our eyes anyway. Who do you got at number 1?
So I had it a tie between Kenny Britt and Dwayne Bowe. They were fucking terrible for the same reason.
Yep.
Kenny Britt was out getting fucking hammered on West 6 the night before games and shit. Dwayne Bowe pedaled on the sideline more than he was on the field. You should have known because he just looked like a fucking dick fart. As soon as we seen him it was the jersey release, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm like, oh man, this guy just looks like he's going to be a shitty receiver. And he was decent. He was decent at Kansas City, but there was a reason they let him go. And we just didn't get anything in the return, man. I mean, both of those two, how do you pick the worst one?
Yeah.
You say maybe Kenny Britt was the worst one because Dwayne Bowe was sometimes sober? Fuck.
Yeah.
It was so bad. We've made some really bad decisions, man.
Horrible. And at wide receiver, right? So that's my number one. I said I had Ryzen on the list. I gave him number one, just because of now the other guys I witnessed playing. You know, Ryzen, I was a bit young. I mean, I witnessed them, but I was a bit, I was younger, right? So I was, what this would have been in 95. So I was 10. I was 10.
Right.
Anyway, and it had ties, it had ramifications. You talked about, Modell having to take out the loan to pay his bonus. He signed the highest contract for a receiver at that time. And then, there we go. The rest is history, right?
Right.
And in that one season, he caught 47 balls. That's it. So,
woo.
I think it's more tied to the moving of the team and Modell actually bringing that up, and as financial struggles. And there, like I said, I talked about emotional ties before we went off on this, and that was the one. I was young, I didn't understand a lot, but I remember Andre Rison's one of those names that I tied to the Browns fucking leaving. So that's why he gets number one. Definitely made both of our lists. That's our 5 and 5 for the top 5 worst free agents or free agent busts of your Cleveland Browns. So, guys and gals, I thought that was a fun episode. I do like running down that draft stuff. That's pretty fun. So
keeps us on our toes, man. Real quick, this is for Casey Farley out there in case he's listening. The only reason I do not want the Browns to draft that Caleb Farley is then because he gets to buy a jersey with his own last name on it. Like, I keep seeing this kid mocked to the Browns at 26. And I'm like, dude, Farley does not deserve his own jersey to wear. That's not fair. Fuck that guy.
No jersey for you. I like it. Hey, we get to do more next week. So we did the Browns complete mock this week. Next week, we'll do the first, what we usually do, 10 picks. We usually do first 10.
We do the first 10 picks, and then like our guys that we think will be sleepers and someone we'll pay attention to.
Yeah, so we'll get a little bit like broad.
No matter
draft.
where they go.
Yeah, a little bit more broad on the draft, top 10.
Because we're going to be running out of shit to talk about, dude. I mean,
yeah.
Unless we if my premonition happens where we sign Clowney this week, we'll have a little bit more to talk about. We'll be like jerking each other off thinking about having Myles Garrett and Clowney on the other end. But even though Clowney isn't as good as people want to make him to be, he'll be helpful.
He'll be helpful. And you're gonna have strength in numbers here, and that's not just saying a bunch of bodies. Like everyone that they're gonna have on the defensive line is gonna be talented in some way, shape, or form. And a lot of these talents are going to strengthen each other. It's going to be fun to watch, actually. I think, we know what the offense is and can be. So I think going into this season, I'm most excited to see how this defense transforms because I'll tell you what, that offense takes a step from last year, and this defense transforms into something that's, at least respectable. Watch the fuck out.
Yeah, we're going to be a problem.
So be sure and keep your eyes and ears peeled for the newest content from the Danger Zone and everyone at the Mark One Sports family. Like I said, we'll be giving you your episode Sunday. Hopefully we can get some things rolling here and maybe get some content in. Like Rich said, it's been a little thin. You guys know that. So, but anytime we get an opportunity to get on and give you guys some new stuff to listen to us babble on about, we definitely want to do that. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for events happening from the Mark One Sports family. We just had the CLE Tribecast watch party there at Slim and Jumbo's. That was a lot of fun. There was a lot of good stuff in the Chinese auction, the memorabilia auctions from the name's escaping me now, Rich, from the sports, their sponsor.
S&S, is it S&S?
S&S, I think. Yeah, Sports Outlet or Sports Factory. Great. They got a lot of good stuff, man. There was a lot of stuff I wanted.
That Sandlot picture was the shit. I wanted that, dude. I wanted that so bad.
It was awesome. So be on the lookout for events like that because you ain't going to want to miss out on that stuff. Get out and enjoy the time out and meet the Mark One family. So again, thanks for stopping in. And Rich, why don't you lead us out with some words of wisdom, brother?
Man, if you pay attention to the national media right now when they're talking about football, you know what name they keep throwing in there like a team to look out for? This team's going to be good. It's the fucking Browns. It's us. I've heard multiple sports people this past week or two talking about the Browns roster and how talented it is. We got a quarterback. We got some running backs. We got some receivers. We have a damn good offensive line. Offense is set. Let it grow. Build this defense up. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. We're going to make a run this season, baby. A good one. Go Browns.
Go Browns.